Hi people, alternative rap, rock, band, 21 Pilots, Trench album review in my opinion. So track 1, Jumpsuit. Obviously this band is very good at what they need to do instrumentally to perform well with a solid sound without the need to have thousands of instruments. Let's start with the idea that there are two people. So pretty great start, and it makes sense with what is expected of them and works quite well. Track 2, Levitate. I think it's not necessary to present what they can do in the rap field if they don't really have something good to deliver in that sense. And here there is not much musical sense, but that of, look, we can talk fast. And I think it's very bad. It takes away a lot of the weight from the originality that this band has, and I hope they don't get carried away by these moments. Track 3, Morph. Instrumentally, it's great. I love the bass, and the change that the song has generates a very interesting contrast that elevates the tracks and helps a lot. This is exactly what best fits the sound of the band, and what I think it's what stands out best in the album. Track 4, My Blood. When the track takes a long time to deliver something that comes as a promise in the song, and that the only thing they achieve is just to make an awkward moment that doesn't end up being very interesting. Anyway, what came after is worth listening, and it sounds great. The voice melody is very catchy and fun. The beginning is the only low point that I see. Track 5, Chlorine. I feel that at this point this track is not surprising and falls into the same formula as the rest. Although they sound good and work, they don't leave much to rescue. It's not a big surprise on the album, and it's a song that goes by almost without notice. Track 6, Smithereens. The highest melodies of the voices so far are always appear at the exact moment and accompany very well everything that happens within the song. In that sense, it's very successful to venture to give more space to these melodies, and the track is very good without the need to be explosive but rather quiet. Track 7, Neon Gravestones. With a sound perhaps more personal and melodies that are not invasive, but on the contrary leave a lot of space so that the voice can be fast, and in that sense works completely. It sounds great, and the combination of everything makes a lot of sense, and what previously ends up being a mistake here is a very successful moment in the album. Track 8, The Hype. It doesn't have a great start, and what follows is not a special sound either. For some reason it gives me the feeling that there is a fall in what the originality of the record means, and that in this track there is not much intention to deliver something new. Track 9, Nico and the Niners. The change that makes this song and its rhythm in this album is awesome, and it's really very interesting that it was at this point where they were already starting to use too much the same musical formula that was putting them in an unattractive place. I don't know if the bridge works so well with the rest of the track, but it's not a bad song. Track 10, Cut My Lip. Following the line of the previous track, in this part of the record keeps an interesting sound that gave it a new face and a great way to recover the attention. I even think that this song somehow elevates what was coming in anticipation of the previous song. It's a great track. Track 11, Bandito. I don't know what I was waiting when the song started, and I think that this situation, despite being interesting, can also be very dangerous. But the band managed to generate a quite unique sound inside the album without trying to abuse the instruments. You feel the need to recover the creativity that seemed lost, and works great. This is an awesome track. Track 12, Pet Cheetah. With a rather bizarre melody and a voice that seems to only speak in front of music, feel that none managed to connect with the other, and even the change that makes the most sense also ends up feeling out of place. It is very uncomfortable to try to connect everything because they just don't work, and you can notice them trying to get together and failing in that. Track 13, Legend. With a rather friendly sound, all the mess that came from the previous track seems like planned to follow to this song that exaggerates the order, and it's written almost thinking about the best thing that could assure a place on the radio without disturbing anyone. There is not a big surprise here. Track 14, Leave the City. The end of the album doesn't do justice to other previous songs and ends up being quite boring. There's nothing to rescue, and don't think it's a bad song. I think that if this track has been on the album, but in a previous moment, maybe it would have been better. But by the end, it didn't have much to defend and it ends up failing. Give this record a total of 6.9. All the details in the description. Have you heard this album? What is your opinion about it? Subscribe for more content and bye.